masturbation joke here. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to a show that thinks the best sex toy ever invented was Parkinson's disease. Just put that bitch on top and let the debilitating illness do all the work. Here on the PeterPod Network!
To people who don't know who I am, the show at my special. That's bullshit. Part of me really believes that, the other part is I just like pissing off people with kids, you know?
I'll tell you what. If you've seen him before, you're gonna want to see him again.
Sending this fashion statement says I'm having a good fucking time!
Hola, amigos, and welcome back to another all-new edition of the PeterPod Network. This is episode 35. I am PeterPod. He is Will in the back, and we are the only podcast with a mascot called the Butt Slut. I hope everyone had a fun week since last we spoke. The news has been pretty fun. I know that much, at least. Nancy Pelosi is no longer leader of the House. That's right, folks. Skeletor is gone. And why we here at the PeterPod Network really even give two shits as to who actually is Speaker of the House? Well, simple. The last thing we need as Americans is to have a woman who is the mirror image of a praying mantis in face-to-face meetings during negotiations on anything. How are we supposed to get things done when the other guys are worried she's going to try to mate with them and then eat their heads? And I can't tell which one would be worse. Before we get going, remember to hit that subscribe button, whether you're on Amazon, Spotify, Samsung, YouTube, or elsewhere. We always love seeing that folks are listening, and of course, check us out online at all the major socials. Facebook and Twitter still have their weekday daily posts to help brighten your day better than seeing a handicapped kid fall off a pedophile. As well as TikTok and Instagram, of course, where we kind of fell asleep at the wheel there, but we got lots of plates spinning, so don't worry, we will get to them, and otherwise, fuck off. The archives are always open and always free, well, until we decide to fleece you like an OnlyFans girl who needs rent, which is like all of them, apparently, and why does it seem like they have to pay rent like 3 times a month? Yeah, I guess we'll never know. If you just got to send us an email, we encourage you to at thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com. Let us know how we're doing, whether you like something or you don't. Did we go too far during the podcast? Will we go too far when we respond to your email? Well, there's really only one way either of us are going to find out. So once again, send those emails to thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com. And if it doesn't have the THE in it, well, then you're talking to somebody else. So speaking of emails, we got an interesting email this week from StarGod87634 at AOL. And seriously, dude, the AOL says you've had this email since the 90s. The StarGod name says you weren't getting laid during the 90s. And the 87634 says we had way too many nerdy virgins at that time. But anyways, StarGod, also known as Brandon, asks why we haven't tried to charge any money at all for the podcast so far. Well, the answer is actually pretty fucking easy to give, Brando. We're just having a lot of fun making this shitty little podcast. People keep inviting us out for free drunken tours around their towns. Other podcasters have invited us to play in their studios, and sponsors keep giving us free shit like equipment and instruments and other things. Plus, look at all the crazy shit the deranged fans of the PeterPod Network have done to Melissa Cody, a.k.a. the Butt Slut, a.k.a. Mini Rider for you OnlyFans patrons who like to blow their loads to images of human train wrecks that are so much like train wrecks they even have flaps. That's an empty fupa joke to the uneducated who are wondering why she won't do certain poses. Fucking creepy, right? If you are jerking off to her, never mind after seeing that which should be in a museum of melted wax figures, but also after everything that she did, including using one man to cheat on a second man while married to a third man, and as we all know, for extra points, she's also hiding a child from a fourth man the entire time. White trash much? Well, your issues are many, and since you're already on OnlyFans, I'd have to imagine issue number 1 for you is a nice mix of desperation and mental illness. So to answer Brandon, with everything that we get out of making this show without having to charge anybody a cent, well, frankly, we have an unwritten agreement here at the PPN that when what we get out of making the show isn't worth it anymore, then we'll start charging to make it worth it, you know? But as it is, the emails prove to us that we have listeners, so there's a measure of satisfaction there. Our sponsors keep us happy with free shit, which is a whole other level of satisfaction. And between the many things fans have done to the Butt Slut, like hacking and deleting her OnlyFans at one point, again, we have the best fans, and all the free beer we get invited for, well, I guess we would just say we're good. All right, so who's ready for a rant? All right, here it comes right after this. No, when he comes, snow won't stop him from his run. Nothing's gonna stop him. He he's on his way. He's gonna judge all the children, and nothing's gonna stop him. Sure. No, this time Santa's been losing his goddamn mind. Ain't nothing gonna stop him. There's fire inside that fat man's eye. Ain't nothing gonna stop him. Oh, Santa's on the way. He's coming to make you pay. And it's holiday. Christmas is gonna really slay. It's coming from the door. Santa's coming to your home. And it don't matter if you've been good or bad this year. Nothing gonna stop him. Don't cry, baby, you'll live through Christmas time. 'Cause nothing's gonna stop him. Oh, Santa's on the way, and he's coming to make you pay. And it's holiday, Christmas is gonna really slay. It's coming from the door. Santa's coming to your home. Santa's on the way, he's coming to make you pay. And this holiday, Christmas is gonna really slay. It's coming from the door. Santa's on the way, he's coming to make you pay. And this holiday, Christmas is gonna really slay. It's coming from the door. He's coming to your home. What are the words to the song? I don't know, but I'll carry on. Because I've got something to say. And here comes the rant of the week. Welcome back to this week's rant for episode 35. So this week I wanted to talk about what is probably a touchy subject for some. And I'm hoping it doesn't make me a target for the Me Too movement or something, but, well, I think it's best if I just dive into this one. I was talking to someone the other day, and they mentioned something that hadn't occurred to me at the time that it happened. Now, we all remember Caitlyn Jenner won the Hero of the Year award at the ESPYs 6 months after she became a woman. But apparently, she won it because she became a woman? That's the general understanding, right? Because that's what Morgan told me, and I know this is old news, but I feel like I have to ask. How are feminists not still stirring shit up over this? Men are now proven to be better than women at everything, including being a woman? Well, I don't have a dog in the fight, and really the fight is someone else's, whether they decide to do anything about it or not. And honestly, I wouldn't even really give two shits. But I just got done listening to the Rogan podcast, in which he talks about Fallon Fox, and yeah. Some of you know what I'm referring to, and the rest of you are wondering if I'm about to go off on a tangent about transgender furries. And that's a big no on that one, so please allow me to explain. What Joe Rogan was talking about when he was discussing Fallon Fox is that Fallon is a she, used to be a he, but didn't decide to get a girl power flower until the age of 30. Thought it'd be a fun way to spend the day to compete in the women's division of MMA-type fighting contests. Big issue around that being? Miss Fox also decided not to tell any women she was fighting, at least for the first 2 fights, that they were also going to be in the octagon with a woman who has the muscle structure and strength of a man that she used to be. So what should have been a normal, even match between 2 informed fighters, well, ended up looking more like that time the cops got called to my neighbor's house for when her 6'4" boyfriend made her face look like 2 miles of chewed up dirt road. Essentially, a professionally organized in-ring mixed martial arts contest resembled something more akin to a domestic violence awareness ad on TV. I gotta imagine that somewhere in the South, "That's what you get for not having dinner ready," was a saying that came to mind when they saw it. So after seeing all that and hearing about it as well, then almost the very next day my friend mentions that Caitlyn Jenner won this award, and I really was astonished. First off, did anybody even see Keeping Up with the Kardashians? I can't really say that I was a big follower, but the fucking thing was on for 20 years, and it was like being force-fed a lower IQ. Whenever I saw Bruce Jenner on that thing, he wasn't exactly playing the role of the man character on the show, if you know what I mean. That was his wife, who seemed more like a pit bull in a pantsuit. So if you're going to give him the award for becoming a woman, I think you should probably have done it back in the 70s when he thought wearing those short shorts on a box of cereal was a good idea. And second, why Caitlyn Jenner? Dennis Rodman did all this shit years ago. He wore a fucking wedding dress and makeup while marrying Carmen Electra. Why is it that Caitlyn Jenner wins some humanitarian award and we all try not to make eye contact with Dennis Rodman? Alright, give me some news. What can you hear about this fucked up town? Only on the news. Hear it on the news. Did some crackhead run out into traffic? Find out on the news. Crack is a hell of a drug. Heard it on the news. Where's my beat? Yeah. Building came in, find an alien, find out on the news. Is E.T. coming for me? Is your mother really your brother? Find out on the news. Mom, you got a lot of explaining to do. This is PPN News. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the PPN News for episode 35. This week starts off once again with our Jackass of the Week award. And who is receiving this prestigious award this time around? Is it a rapist? Some pederast up in northern New Hampshire? Maybe a multiple murderer on the run, perhaps? Nope. This week's award goes out to the fucking retard who decided turkey hunting from his car window with a 9mm handgun was a smart idea. That's right, folks. A Cheshire County man is looking at multiple charges, including shooting a weapon within 300 feet of a home and poaching. I personally would love there to be a charge of being a full-blown asshat in a public area, but I guess they haven't made that law yet. So I guess we'll have to take what we can get. So what the fuck was he planning on doing with the turkey when he got home, you may be asking? That's the question floating around our office anyways. And we here at the PPN News would like to lend a small piece of advice to our hatchback hunter. If you would have made it home and slapped that dead-ass turkey on the table and told your wife that you hunted it in the time that you were supposed to be picking up the kids, well, that's a good way to get your day drinking privileges taken away, my man. Just saying. In other news, a 40-year-old homeless man stole an Amazon delivery truck and had the time of his fucking life. I know I would. As he began taking police on a high-speed chase down 93, where he was eventually stopped in Manchester. I guess he couldn't wait for his prime shipment of meth. Sometime after 2:45 p.m. Sunday, the Amazon truck in question, stolen from the Concord, New Hampshire area, was actually reported to have been found by cell phone, tearing ass down 93, headed south. After some distance, as the Amazon truck, and its probably fucked up driver, made their way being chased by police through Hooksett and then Manchester, they eventually got off the highway and went to Elm Street in Manchester because, well, that really is the place where it seems like all the homeless people like to go during the day. And night, sadly. And on the dead end of the north end of Elm Street, the police pursuit by my new spirit animal, Richard Roya of Concord, apparently said, "Fuck you," when police asked him to exit the Amazon truck. And they said, "Okay then," and released the canine to do the rest. Royer is being charged with all kinds of shit, included aggravated driving while intoxicated, reckless operation without a license, and, of course, the theft of the fucking truck. In our last story tonight, 50-year-old Vincent Cheney will be spending the next Christmas with his new boyfriend in jail, as he's been sentenced to 50 years for 1 count of possession of crack cocaine and 7, that's right, count 'em, 7, counts of a felon being in possession of a firearm. That's right, folks, we're still trying to figure out how he was carrying them all. He must have been using his ass as an extra holster or something. Beyond the fact that Mr. Cheney somehow gained 7 firearm charges on his resume, the real kicker in this story is that most of the time he was sentenced to came from the drugs, not the gun store he was apparently holding on to. Now, granted, he did have over 75 grams of crack, which I would imagine would be enough to launch an addict to the moon like Wile E. Coyote being shot out of a cannon, but somehow illegally owning the weapons vault from Scarface is just an extra. This has been the news. You are listening a song. There, nowhere. Is called oh, it's called, oh, it's called. You like fucking horses on your back porch every church Sunday. Oh God, you guys have been tapping your foot to this song this whole fucking time. What the fuck is wrong with you people? God damn, get some help. Hey, Will, did you see these fucking people tapping their foot to a song about fucking horses? What is wrong with these fucking weirdos? Hey, welcome to the party. Don't mind the widows in the back, they brought the best drugs. And look at how we're bringing you. It's kinda like the news, but we call it our world. Don't worry, folks, this won't take much time. Kinda like the news, but not quite. And hey, we're bringing you the real news. Not the shit you see on The View, not the shit that makes you sad. Sit back, relax with your girl, and welcome to another edition of Our World. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Our World. For this week, we're going to do something just a little bit different, because we found out that a true hero of the show has passed away. That's right, Mima from the Hollywood Hillbillies is no longer with us, and I'm sorry, that lady was funny as shit, and we're gonna miss her. Mostly because of shit like this.
And I beat the total shit out of him. And I'm proud of it. He's dead, and I'm sorry that he's dead, but he was mean, and he deserved every lick that he got from you, Mima.
And it was words like that, ladies and gentlemen, that created a legend. Not like the hashtag legend. We actually have some respect for him because, well, Mima does say things like this.
Marching around with my legs looking good and my tits looking straight ahead. I was used to my boobs in the room 4 minutes before I do.
The reason why that gives me a little bit of disrespect for the woman is only because I don't understand what the fuck she was saying. Some of you may actually remember Mima from her time on Porch Time with Mima on Tosh.0. And, well, if you did, you got to hear fun little nuggets like this.
I've been married 3 times. They're all dead. And no, I did not kill these people. I talked them to death.
Born in a time where men were men and prohibition was a thing, we salute you, Mima, and hope you rest in peace. Here's our tribute to Mima.
I don't care if you say honky, white, black, and the other word that nobody's allowed to use anymore that I grew up with saying. I don't know what the hell I'm doing out here, but I put in my key and put on a bra to come. My vibrator burned out. And that's what the hell I'm doing here. I still can't believe they're doing this, and I hate this house. I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
I'm gonna defrizz my hair a little bit.
Here I am sitting again waiting on these fruitcakes. Waiting. I hate this.
Mima, we're gonna miss you. All right, hit the music. Not that song, you asshole. Hey, welcome to the party. Don't mind the widows in the back, they brought the best drugs. And look at all we're bringing you. It's kinda like the news, but we call it our world. Don't worry, folks, this won't take much time. Kinda like the news, but not quite. And hey, we're bringing you the real news. Not the shit you see on The View, not the shit that makes you sad. Sit back, relax with your girl, and welcome to another edition of our world. All right, folks, that's it for episode 35. We always want to thank you, so we're going to do that right now. Remember to follow us on all the major socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We got those daily posts going on Twitter and Facebook, so make sure to check those out just so your day sucks a little bit less. If you got to send us an email, make sure the THE in the PeterPod Network at gmail.com is there because, like we said earlier, otherwise you're talking to somebody else. Check out the archives at PeterPodNetwork.com. You can see everything we've ever made all floating out there. It's probably a bad idea, but hey, we like steering into the skid. So, from PeterPod, we got Will in the back. We are both out. You have a great night. And, of course, as always, we'll see you next week. Bye.